No problem.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, and I cannot wait to hear from Deanna today. I've had a lot of baby duties the last 24 hours, so I'm actually a little bit sleepy, and I'm really looking forward to taking some notes and learning something for myself today. As you may know, if you've been on these calls for a while, we have Deanna sharing with us this morning, and because I'm a bit tired, I'm going to let you take the gratitude as well, if that's all right, Deanna. You can run the gratitude. I will share quickly my little bits of gratitude today. Always my little man. It's crazy that I'm so tired, but the energy that he gives me just makes me still so vibrant and happy and joyful. And it's just something that you can't really beat. It just goes to show how much energy can run our lives. Even if we are fatigued, even if we are running down, you come bursting with positive energy. It can really push you and move you and sway you in really good directions. And this is what Finding Gratitude is all about. Actually, I was just writing a little bit more of my gratitude journal that I'm creating. And I was talking about how really what we're doing in Finding Gratitude is forcing our brain to shift into a positive mindset. And if we're living in a positive mindset, both morning and night, we're really going to be shifting our overall presence to being in that state of happiness, that state of joy, and all the positive things that help with health issues, stress issues, sleep issues, excluding my night last night, and all the above. So I'm very grateful for the ability to study, to learn, to have everyone here, and this group's continuously growing. It's even bigger this morning, which I'm super grateful for. And I will pass it over to you, Deanna.
Thank you, Jake. Absolutely. So yes, I see there is a few people that have put in some areas of gratitude, and that's going to really fit well this morning. I planned today's session around gratitude. Last week, we had the opportunity to work through those different zones, the different learning stages, the different stages of growth. And so I thought, well, I'd like to spend a little more time with regards to gratitude, and today there will be a short meditation. I just have a few notes on it. Jake has done such a great job with regards to having each of us participate each day, and I think it really gets us thinking differently and not placing our focus. Pardon me, I want to change that. Placing our focus in the positive instead of in the negative, because what can happen is we can get caught in those negative mind kind of thinking patterns. So I believe the gratitude is a great growth opportunity for each of us. So I'm going to just start with, I have these, I don't know if you can see that, it's a little, there are these little boxes that are quote cards, and Jake often provides a quote for us. So I'm going to provide a quote, but I don't know what it's going to be yet. So I got to pop it open. So I'm going to do that right now. So this is really fitting for this morning. Remember that your natural state is joy. Wayne Dyer. So, simple but powerful. Remember that your natural state is joy. So I have these little cards. They're kind of, I have them all over my house. I have them in different spots, and I read them. And I want you to take that and feel that in your heart center. Just take a deep breath for a moment. What does joy mean to you? Maybe a past experience, and then bring that into the present. So joy. So I want to always be working towards joy. Maybe in the moment you're not feeling very joyful, but as you put your attention there, you can come back to that place of joy. Maybe it's it's going to be different for each of us, right? And again, we may need to find that place where we can cultivate that feeling of joy. What is that for you? Create a visualization so that you can bring that into your heart center. Feel the emotion. It's a very high vibration. It's one of the highest vibration emotions is joy, feeling joyful. So as we go from this quote, remember that your natural state is joy. If it really is fitting with what I'm going to be offering. And so when we come to like happiness and joy in our lives, there's nothing that is more important than the experience of gratitude through that. So we want to be working towards these positive emotions and finding each day small areas to be joyful or large areas. And maybe it's a building towards the larger area of gratitude. So feelings of appreciation bring us closer to one another, make everything in life feel richer and more vibrant. Often, even the most significant setbacks can become areas of growth and acceptance. And so as I reflect back to last week's presentation that I offered, there really is a lot of opportunity in maybe areas of struggle, areas of challenge or misfortune, that we can come away from that, maybe not immediately, but when we step back from that situation, that we can then grow and accept through those challenges and be able to move to that next level. So it's not something that we necessarily just achieve right away every day, but we can be working toward growing and expanding into this area of joyful feeling within, which then helps us to be more grateful. While appreciation may feel like a subtle experience that happens within us, it's one of the most important elements that determines our well-being. So Jake talked about this, right? Like our health is linked to how we feel, our emotions. So keeping it in the positive really helps us to overall just our well-being, being healthy overall level, better emotions level, and hopefully into that positive state of emotion. One way to cultivate gratitude is through meditation. So this is just one way. I have a list of others, but today we know the time goes pretty quickly. So we're first going to do the gratitude meditation. If I have time, I'll reflect back on some of these other ways. And the ones that I'm going to offer are just some of the ways. They're not all of the ways. So the meditation today, as I said, it's a gratitude meditation. And so I want you now to really get comfortable in your space. I want you to start taking some deep breaths, feeling your feet on the floor. I want your feet to be flat on the floor. Now, if you're sitting on the floor, then just get comfortable in your space. Get comfortable as you take the deep breath. You're inhaling, abdomen expands out on the inhale. And exhale, abdomen towards the spine. If you're comfortable with eyes softly closed, go ahead and softly close your eyes. Or maybe you're gazing off into the distance, taking these deep abdominal breaths. We're inhaling through the nose, abdomen expands out. Exhaling through the nose, relax the abdomen. We'll take one more deep breath as we align the spine. Get comfortable. Maybe hands are softly touching in the lap, on the tops of the legs, or hands or palms touch together. Continue to take these deep breaths. And we go from focusing on how our body is feeling to now taking a focus to the heart center. Your heart center is an important source of emotional wisdom. So the emotional wisdom within the heart center, not only our physical heart, our emotional heart, and our spiritual heart. Just as the brain is a source of intellectual wisdom. So we're going to be working with the source of emotional wisdom today. As we take another deep breath, pay attention to what lies within. How are you feeling right now? What are the emotions you're feeling right now? And through that deep breathing and the focus on the heart, start to think about 3 things about your day, your week, your month that you're grateful for. I see some people have provided some of that information within our chat area this morning. So now I want you to bring that inside, bring those words that you shared with the group into your heart center. As you continue to take the deep breath, these could be small things, such as a smile, a conversation you had with a loved one, or possibly a sunrise or sunset that you were able to experience recently. Whatever comes to mind, that's just perfect for you. Once you have these 3 things that you're grateful for, I want you to breathe the energy of these things into your heart center. So we're coming back to the emotional wisdom, breathing into the heart center, these 3 areas that you're grateful for. as you breathe the deep abdominal breath, imagine your heart filling up with love, joy, and happiness. These things have brought you a joyful feeling. And then on the exhale, we're exhaling, letting go, and releasing. So through the exhale, and if you're more visual, maybe you want to allow yourself to even imagine like any heaviness, anything that's not feeling quite right within the heart center, some imbalance, we can release that now on the exhale. And this is allowing some space to be created in the heart center to draw in that feeling of joyfulness, that feeling of gratitude, expanding the feeling of gratitude. So as you continue to inhale, you start to imagine these three things being planted in your heart center, like the seeds in the earth. You think about a warm spring day and you're planting seeds in the earth of your garden. You're planting these seeds, these gratitude seeds in the heart center to allow them to grow. And then on the exhale, once again, creating space, letting go, making more room for these emotions to grow, the gratitude to start to expand within the heart center. On the inhale, you're planting positive experiences in your heart center like a gardener tending the garden. The gardener is very proud of these accomplishments, these seeds that have been planted, nurtured. I want you to nurture these seeds of gratitude. Bring that feeling of love, joy, and happiness directed towards the heart center to allow the seeds to grow. Once you've planted these seeds, your attention to the seeds is gratitude. Ask that you then smile to this area. So in my Qigong practice, we have a practice that's called the inner smile, a smiling practice. So we're going to bring this essence of the inner smile into the heart center. Keep breathing. I don't want you to be holding your breath. I just want you to allow the smile. It's a feeling within. It's an inside feeling. It's really your authentic smile. So you start to smile with the eyes, and as you smile with the eyes, that smile is coming from the inside out. So we start to radiate outward, but really it's a smile for you. This is a smile that looks after you, inside you, your heart, nurturing, growing those seeds. It may turn into an outer smile. And this is great, right? This when we feel good inside, when we feel joyful inside, then we can allow that to expand outward and share that with others. So we're smiling, this joyful feeling, this feeling of happiness, feeling of love. As you continue to inhale and exhale, smile to these things that are great, that you're grateful for, the small things, the big things. You can imagine your smile like sunlight and water that you are giving to the seeds within your heart center. Let's continue to smile to this area. Sometimes that takes a little bit of kind of effort in the beginning, but eventually it becomes effortless. I want this to become natural. I want this to become your go-to. Smiling, bring this smiling energy with you all day long. So the smiling energy that you're creating in the heart center becomes your natural recenter. It's a recenter yourself to this place overall. As you water your seeds and send them sunlight, imagine your seeds are starting to blossom within your heart. The things you appreciate, what you're grateful for, are blooming into beautiful, radiant flowers that give you joy. Now you have this joyful feeling within. Take a deep breath, slow, long, and full. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. These internal feelings are like the seeds in the garden. The more you water the beautiful seeds, they become flowers. Give them sunlight, the more vibrant they become. The more vibrant you become as you pay that attention. Be grateful, loving, nurturing to the seeds that you've planted of gratitude. Just take a moment now, scan your body. How are you feeling? Couple more deep breaths. This meditation of gratitude is a great way to create positive feelings of joy and appreciation. Remember that the more you practice gratitude, the easier it is to experience on a consistent daily basis. Take this feeling of gratitude with you into your day. I wish you happiness, health, and gratitude for today and always. As we take a couple more deep breaths. Just allow that feeling to settle. So first, we've been placing that focus to the heart center. Now allow it to expand out. One more deep breath. If eyes have been softly closed, you could start to open them. Maybe you start to move a little bit in your chair or where you're seated, your seated position. Good. I hope you enjoyed this meditation on gratitude. Just a way to start your day in a very positive way. If anyone has any comments, go ahead and include those, or if you wanted to unmute. I'm just going to do a quick recap, and then I'll leave a couple minutes at the end if anyone wants to share. Just to allow you to do this on your own throughout the day, daily. Be consistent, as I said, through the meditation, because that's really, becomes natural then. Becomes really, really natural. Breathe slowly and deeply into your heart center. Think of 3 things you are grateful for. As you inhale, plant those 3 things in your heart like seeds in the earth. Continue breathing and smiling to your seeds. Imagine your smile to be sunlight and water that you are giving to your seeds. Imagine your seeds blossoming in your heart, bringing you joy and happiness. So we want to be the gardener, right? The proud gardener. I have family members that love to garden, and I can see them, out in their gardens looking after, and nurturing those plants. So now we need to do that to ourselves, looking after ourselves and being proud of who we are and our efforts that we're making on a daily basis. Sometimes, it's a small gratitude, and sometimes it's a really large gratitude. But each of these allowing us to move towards feeling joyful. Okay, good. I see we got a couple of comments that have come through. And somebody mentioned Aaron. Aaron mentioned ready to hit the charts now with a heart full of gratitude. I'm happy to hear that. You're very welcome. Welcome to each of you. Sheila, I'm glad that you found this helpful. You're welcome. And Lorraine, you're very welcome. Great. Good. Jake has a few comments, so we have some time for that. Let's go ahead and have his comments now.
Perfect.
And thank you.
Thank you so much, Deanna. That was really, really nice. I actually really liked meditation. I was doing it quite intensely for a while, every morning. But since I've had my little one, it's just drifted off my priority list. And so this was actually a really nice way to bring me back to how peaceful and how centering and how grounding it can be. But one thing I do want to say is I know when I first started meditation, it actually felt like a weird practice. It felt strange. I felt uncomfortable. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this. And I was just sort of sitting like, I don't need to do this. And I had a very, let's say, egotistical and blasé attitude towards it. And what I want to say, if you're on this call and you're not someone who's done much meditation and that was uncomfortable for you, or you didn't really feel settled, or you were like, this is awkward, or you didn't really want to listen, that's good. What Deanna was talking about last Thursday was getting out of your comfort zone. If we want to be in the top 5%, we got to be doing things that most people are not doing. If you want to be pushing your boundaries and getting better and developing and growing, you have to become okay with being uncomfortable in new situations. Try out new things. Try out things that you might not have originally done in your old self, because like I say many times, the person who's going to be a successful trader is going to be a newer, more upgraded version of you. You are not going to be the successful trader being the person you are today. You have to go through developments, changes, progression, and growth to get to the skill level where you're going to become a successful trader. And so if you're sitting here today and you're like, oh, what are we doing meditation? Oh, this is weird. I'm closing my eyes. I'm a bit awkward, because that's what I was like when I first was doing meditation. Good. Be uncomfortable. Be okay with it, but get involved. Embrace it and just fucking try. It's no harm in trying. You're sitting in your room on your own, most of you. You're not going to lose anything by giving it a go. Okay. So I really encourage you, no matter what it is, when we're having these discussions, or if you're feeling a little bit awkward or like, this isn't who I am, get rid of that ego, throw it out the window, because that ego is not going to help you on the charts, and just give it a go. Just succumb to what could be, what may actually flow from trying new things. Another thing I wanted to talk about was what you said there, was that our heart is full of emotional wisdom. And that is very, very powerful, because what is the one thing that I talk about on this call all the time that stops traders from becoming successful? Emotions. Exactly. Our ability to function with our emotions and to leave them at the door. Once we start letting emotions into the charts, we start losing, we start doing all the things that the charts are designed to do to take our money. And so centering ourselves for 20 minutes, finding that emotional wisdom and finding the key to that and finding peace with that and unlocking the ability to control that is going to be so powerful in the long term for your trading. If you can do that in 20 minutes, find your emotional wisdom, find your heart center, and allow to fill it with joy and remove all other emotions, and come up with, like, I feel a bit more enlightened, a bit more fresh, a bit like a weight's kind of been lifted off my shoulders. I'm feeling, fluffy and good. And so if you can do that on a regular basis, not only could you maybe do that at the start of each day to start your day, but if you've ever had a day where you just like throw the button on the charts and you're feeling shitty and you've lost a bunch of trades, take a second, fill your heart with joy, find some gratitude, release that negative weight off your shoulders, that negative emotion, and go down the practice of what we just did. You can do it even a shorter term or momentarily, and really try to remove the negative connotations or the negative feelings that you have around any of the charts. So doing something different, finding that emotional wisdom, very, very powerful. And the last thing I want to talk about is, how many of you have rocked up to someone and they're just like beaming? They've got a big smile on their face. You can just see, like, chuck some ones in the chat if you walked up to someone and be like, oh, they're in a good mood. What's up with you? And you just see them. They're just grinning from ear to ear. Right? Smiles are contagious. That is the joy, the happiness, the smiles, all that stuff is contagious. It's positive energy. It radiates. It's infectious. Smiles are contagious. Happy emotions are infectious. But not only that, we can make that infectious for ourselves. Have you ever been like in such a good mood that you're just sort of walking down the street and you're just like kind of smiling? You're like, I don't know why I'm smiling, but I'm just having a great day. So I'm just going to strut down the street and put a smile on my face, right? We can make that contagious for ourselves. It doesn't just have to be contagious to others. But how do we start that? We find gratitude. We look within. We do this internal smile. We find that emotional center, our heart center. We make it radiate with joy and positivity. What does that do? That radiates outwards, like we did in our meditation just then. We get a smile on our face, then we're beaming, and then we start walking down the street like the sun's shining out of our bum, and all of a sudden everyone we meet is beaming as well. There's no negative aspect to finding gratitude, turning your body into this joyful beam and enjoying the day. And
the side effects are amazing, right, Jake?
Yeah, exactly. It's a drug we should all be addicted to. And as you said, our natural state is joy. And having a little man with me growing, he is always happy unless there's something really impacting that. Like if he's got some belly issues or something. Otherwise, he's just joyfully exploring the world without cares, without worries, without the burdens of what our minds are corrupt with what society has put into it to give us fears and worries and blah, 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 blah. He doesn't have any of that. So he's just naturally, joyfully experiencing life. And it's so pure. And this is where we've all started from. But through our journeys in lives and the characters and building and X, Y, Z through the years and years and years, we've got these layers and layers and layers. So why not bring it right down to the center, find that joy, and just let that be the core of our essence from day to day. So thank you very much, Deanna. I really took a lot from that meditation. And
you're very welcome. And welcome to everyone else. I see there was lots of lots of love in the chat. So thank you very much. It was, I love this privilege of being part of this group and being able to participate. It's something that is a love of mine, a joy. Now, it wasn't always natural for me either, so it has been learned. I've taught myself to meditate. I've taught myself to center myself and live from a place of my natural place of joy. And yeah, so it doesn't have to be a large commitment every day. And what you find is it then becomes like cumulative. Every day you start, like, it's like, oh, that felt pretty good yesterday. Let's try that again, right? And then it you don't even have to think about it. It naturally becomes just a joyful feeling. Now, are you going to have some crap days, some crap moments? Yes, that's still going to happen. Life will happen. But we then, instead of being reactive, we're proactive, right? Being that proactive state where we can handle those situations in a different way. We might even, get a little angry. That's okay. We're supposed to feel the emotions. We're supposed to be emotional beings. It's just that we don't want to be there all day, every day in that anger state. We want to come back to the joyful feeling, the love, the happiness. And even if for you, it's starting like layers, peel back that layers of an onion. I have some of my clients that I work with where for them, even just having a feeling of satisfaction, a feeling like maybe it's not quite such a high vibration, right? But it's still coming into the positive, feeling level instead of feeling so low and glum or grumpy, right? Just allow themselves to be uplifted in even just a small way every day. And then pretty soon I see them starting to blossom and bring their radiant energy on the outside instead of only in the inside. We want it inside first, and then that starts to, as you said, Jake, it starts to beam everywhere, including out the bum.
That's it. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And what I want to do just before we leave, if you were doing meditation before and you really enjoyed that, can you chuck a 2 in the chat? If you've never done meditation, you felt uncomfortable but still joined in, chuck a 3. And if you are happy to be open and honest and you were really uncomfortable and didn't even join in and just sort of sat there like, what the hell am I doing? Chuck a 4 in the chat, just so we can see if there's any people being uncomfortable, because this is where you're honest with yourself during this time. We've got a couple of 2s. No, 3. Okay, cool. Another 2, 3. Okay, at least you joined in. No one was really uncomfortable and didn't participate. That's good. Well, either that or they're too shy to participate.
Or maybe
now,
they're not letting us know.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
not telling us. And that's okay too, because I was there one time.
Exactly.
Not just one time. There was a time years ago where that would have been my natural state. It's kind of like, what do you want me to do today?
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have chucked it in the chat either. So there's no qualms in that.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciated today, and I really appreciated the input in the chat, and of course the lovely meditation. I hope you can join us tomorrow. We're actually going to have 2 guest speakers coming in to join us, telling a bit of a story based around a lot of the stuff we talk about. But I will introduce that a little bit more tomorrow. For our traders, I love you all, and I shall see you in a couple of minutes on our trading call. And to those listening on the podcast and who are not traders, we shall see you tomorrow.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.